Hello, students. It's me again, Mr. Armstrong, for another lesson in grammar. Today's topic is predicate nominatives. This, of course, connects with our linking verbs lesson, so if you haven't seen that yet, make sure you do. But let's not waste any more time. Let's dive in head first to predicate nominatives. Predicate nominatives. First, just like predicate adjectives, they must be in a sentence with a linking verb. That's why the linking verb lesson is very important to understanding predicate nominatives. Number two, a predicate nominative must be a noun or a pronoun. Pronouns are those words that can sometimes substitute for nouns. Number three, they must be in the predicate of the sentence. And since the predicate is the verb and everything after the verb, they must be after the verb, the linking verb. And finally, they must be the same thing as the subject of the sentence. I put thing in quotation marks because sometimes it might be a person or an animal, something we might not consider a thing, but I couldn't think of a better word for it. Can you? Put it in the comments below. Did you write all those notes down? Did you write them down? Did you? You should. Pause if you need to, because we're moving on. This is just another way that you can kind of think about the predicate nominative. They're kind of like an equation, not to bring math into our English lesson, but it's kind of how they work. The verb would be the equal sign, the linking verb, right, as the link, and the subject equals the predicate nominative, which is the exact same as saying the predicate nominative equals the subject, right? We can write 2 plus 2 equals 4, but it's just as true to write 4 equals 2 plus 2. And so this is going to be a way that we can actually kind of check our answers with the grammar. We can reverse these two things in a sentence. We can switch the predicate nominative and the subject, and the sentence should still essentially mean the same thing. We've just reversed the order of it, just like these equations right here. Let's look at some examples about what I'm talking about, though. I think it'll help clear things up. Take a look at these first two examples, which are really kind of like the same example, right? They both state the same thing. The robot is the toy is the same as the toy is the robot. All I've done is switch the simple subject with the predicate nominative. And so if I was to label these, it would look like this. In the first sentence, robot is the simple subject, is the linking verb, and toy is the predicate nominative, a noun that is the same thing as the subject. I could also invert that sentence, write its kind of opposite equation, and say the toy is the robot. But in this sentence, we have a swap. The toy is the subject. Robot is the predicate nominative. The verb stays the same. But grammatically, they are different parts of this sentence. Let's take a look at some more. Your teachers are space aliens. This is true. But if we were to invert it, space aliens are your teachers, that would mean essentially the same thing, right? It's an equation. Teachers equals aliens, aliens equals teachers. And if I was to mark it up, as you should do now, it would look like this. Teachers is the simple subject, are is the verb, a form of to be, a linking verb, and aliens is the predicate nominative. But if I was to reverse it, space aliens are your teachers, aliens would be the subject, and teachers would be the predicate nominative. Get it? Let's look at a couple more examples, just in case. Here's an example using a past tense form of to be, but it works the same way. We were the students is the same thing as the students were we. Might sound a little strange. We don't usually invert it like that, but it's the same thing. The equation is just inverted. But the important thing here is to notice that it works in the present tense as well as the past tense. In the first sentence, we is the subject, were is the past tense form of the linking verb to be, and students is the predicate nominative. But if we inverted it, students would be the subject, and we would be the predicate nominative. This can work in the future tense too, but with the future tense, the inversion becomes a little strange. Let's take a look. Those puppies will be dogs. In this example, puppies is the subject, dogs is the predicate nominative, and we have a verb phrase, will be. To be, of course, is one of the linking verbs. This one's just in the future tense. So the inversion would be a little bit weird for this one. Those puppies will be dogs is not exactly the same as dogs will be those puppies. But grammatically, it would still be correct. Technically, the puppies that turn into the dogs are the same things, but we haven't really cultivated a reverse aging process quite yet, so the inversion doesn't work the same with this one. But grammatically, this is how we would be. Let's take a look at one more example, the trickiest one yet. Their car with the sunroof is the newest thing in the parking lot. Go ahead and write this sentence down, and then mark it up. Draw a line through any prepositional phrases, underline the simple subject once, the verb or verb phrase twice, and label the predicate nominative PN. I'll put the answers up in a second. Well, longer than a second. Not literally a second, more like a metaphoric second, a figurative second. Did you write the sentence down yet? I can wait. Or you can pause it. I guess you could pause it. You could do both. Wait for me to wait and pause it also. I don't know how long it takes you to write down things. Maybe you need to take a little potty break too. I don't know. I don't know what's going on for you. Did you write it down yet? Well, I'm going to put up the answers. Now, their car with the sunroof is the newest thing in the parking lot. There are two prepositional phrases, with the sunroof and in the parking lot. Car is the simple subject, is the linking verb, a present tense form of to be, and thing is the predicate nominative. Did you get them all right? I bet you did, because you're an excellent listener. And that's how we do predicate nominatives. Remember, if you need to review linking verbs, please do so. There is a video on the channel all about that. If you have any questions, you can post them in the comments below or ask me in class. I look forward to teaching you again very soon. Have a great day. I have been and will continue to be Mr. Armstrong.